bumpy road.
The Catacombs of St. Calixtus, also known as St. Callisto, are known as one of the greatest and most important catacombs in Rome. Catacombs are underground tombs in which the dead are buried. The Christian catacombs, which are the most numerous of catacombs in the world, began in the 2nd century, and the digging continued until the first half of the 5th century. The catacombs are named after St. Callisto, who died in 222 AD. In ancient Rome, it was typical for the Roman dead to be cremated and ashes stored in urns. Remember Titus from our textbook? On the contrary, Christians believed in the bodily resurrection. Because they believed in bodily resurrection, they could not destroy the body because they will need it later. The Christian method of burial obviously required more space, but the early Christians did not own much land. The catacombs were a necessary solution for the burial of the faithful. The catacombs were also an ideal way to strengthen the sense of Christian community. They provided a quiet place for memorial ceremonies and even displayed Christian symbols.
The early Christians bound the bodies of the dead in linen and placed them in burial niches called loculi. The loculi were sealed with a slab including the name, age, and the day of the death. On the outside of the loculi, Christian symbols such as the fish, or Chi-Rho, were placed on the slab. These symbols in art were known as frescoes and were some of the earliest examples of Christian art seen in the modern world.
Typical Roman catacombs, including the Catacombs of San Callisto, are made up of underground passages called ambulacra, which also served as the graves of the loculi.
The Calixtian complex extends along the Appian Way, and most of the complex is composed of catacombs. The Catacomb of San Callisto consisted of 4 levels of galleries between the Via Appia to the north and the Via Ardentia to the south.
The catacombs were constructed of tufa and marble.
There was a widely believed notion that the catacombs were used solely as hiding places for worship services, but this was a misconception. During the persecutions, in exceptional cases, the catacombs were used as places of temporary refuge for the celebration of the Eucharist. After the persecutions, especially in the 4th century, they became real shrines of the martyrs, centers of devotion and of pilgrimage for Christians from every part of the empire. These, however, were not the purposes of the catacombs.
The Catacombs of St. Calixtus are the most important and impressive of about 60 catacombs of Rome. They may be considered as the cradle of Christianity and the archives of the primitive church, because they demonstrate the usage of and customs of the early Christians. They profess religious beliefs in the history of martyrdom. Some of these customs and beliefs are the Mass, Eucharist, and prayer.
They also had a strong belief in symbolism that was found among the walls of the catacombs. These symbols being the Good Shepherd, the orante, which is the praying figure with open arms, and the fish. Without the catacombs, it is most certain that many of these customs, traditions, and valuable pieces of history would be lost forever.
Salvete, puellae!
So much information, we know. We will do a brief overview and recap the most important facts.
Who? Named after St. Calixtus.
When? 2nd century AD.
Where? Underground between the Via Appia and the Via Ardentia.
What? Bodily burial for Christians including priests and martyrs.
Why? Christians believed in the bodily resurrection and avoided cremation, a Roman tradition.
Current, it is preserved and is quite a tourist attraction. Tours are available in addition to shops and artifacts.
We contacted Anna from the Catacombs, and she gave us some helpful tips on where to find information and artifacts from the Catacombs of San Callisto if you're interested.